over at KCIM AM 1380 in Carroll, along with KKRL 93.7 FM in Carroll. And Jeff Blankman joins us tonight on Friday Night Live. Jeff, how are you, buddy?
Not too bad, Tony. How we doing, man?
Oh, it's been an interesting night with the weather conditions. Our flagship station is out, but we're on WHO 13.2 and on Mediacom channels 113 and 246, streaming online at iowasportsconnection.com and some of our great affiliates across the state. So we still have a show going on and hopefully some voices listening out there, Jeff. But let's talk softball. Let's talk baseball. A lot of things going on in the state. Let's talk about your area and some of the teams to watch and some of the players to watch, starting with the softball side.
We'll start off on the softball side, and I think some of the teams to watch in our area might be the IKM Manning Wolves. The head coach, Joy Gross, got a good balance of youth and also experience. Jody Hagedorn, just a freshman, is pitching very well for them this year. Just had 14 strikeouts and a big win over Whiting the other night. Ashley Hagedorn, her older sister, who will be playing basketball at DMAC, is having a tremendous year for them. Actually hit a home run against North Polk on the first pitch she saw at the tournament at Otobo North of Battle Creek Ida Grove last Friday. Some other teams in our area, of course, the Carroll Tigers, struggling a little bit right now. They're at about the 500 mark, but this is a team that's got some veterans. They're just struggling to hit the ball right now, playing good defense and getting some outstanding pitching from Lindsay Schultz. She's taken a couple of hard luck losses this last week, but I'll tell you what, come playoff time, this is a team, if they can get the bats going, they're good enough defensively, and with Schultz in the circle, they could do some damage in Class 3A. Kemper Knight's another one of the teams in our area, struggling a little bit right now, Tony, right around the 500 mark, and they've taken some lumps against some good teams. Problem is they're about average with their pitching right now, but where they are so strong is they've got great veterans like Kelsey Ashide and also Amanda Niehaus and Mariah Becky, who are all hitting the ball really well. But there's some younger players, the names you're going to have to remember. One of them is a sophomore, Abby Thompson, just in her third year of playing softball. She didn't play until she was in 8th grade. She starts over at third base, and this young lady has got all the instincts to be an outstanding player. Made a couple of great plays in a victory the other night where she literally snagged a hard-hit line drive on the ground and made a play over at first. I don't even know how she reacted to the ball and then made a diving catch in the pitcher's circle 2 batters later to preserve the run and leave the runner stranded over at third. Caught the ball diving in the pitcher's circle on a bunt attempt. So just her tremendous talent. And Grace Olmstead, the catcher for the Knights, just a freshman transferred in from Waterloo this season. She has been dynamite, replacing the All-Stater in Tammy Drees. Some other teams, Coon Rapids Baird, watching their baseball team tonight against East Sac up in Sac City. They've really started to play some pretty good softball the last couple of weeks. Rachel Tapps is hitting the ball extremely well for them. Katie Dentlinger also playing well for them. You know her from All-State in basketball and All-District. And then they've been getting some pretty good pitching from a sophomore, Marissa Spoo. I don't want to forget East Sac County either. Their softball team under head coach Steve Nutzman has been playing very well. Holly Nutzman, Marie Scott, Abby Hesnard hitting the ball very well for them. And they've been getting some good pitching here lately out of a freshman, Caitlin Bass. Over on the baseball side, it's kind of been a struggle in our area. The Arweeva Rockets, a team that a lot of people thought would be very good, have been struggling a little bit this year. They've got some good pitching. What the problem is for them is they've just been making some errors and giving up some unearned runs. I was over at their game on Wednesday night and against West Harrison, and I talked to head coach Phil Snyder, and he had informed me up to that point they'd given up 31 unearned runs so far in the season. So defense is going to be the name of the game for them, but they've got some terrific players, and Jeremy Ehlers, Ryan Shirkey, Derek Cornelius, Quentin Thompson, and Neil Lichtai have all put together some pretty good years for them so far. For the Coon Rapids Baird Crusaders, a young team under head coach John Waddle, who just does a tremendous job. Tyler Bakey has had an outstanding year for them. Jay Karstens, Michael Schwenk, Jacob Esdor hit a couple of home runs the other night. Glidden Ralston has really turned things around after winning just 4 games last year. They lost to Elkhorn Gibbleton Exira earlier this week on Wednesday night, 9-2 in a battle for first place in that game in the conference. But they've been hitting a lot of home runs. Josh Johnson, Zach Rohrbeck really hitting the ball very well for them as they've turned things around this year. Carroll and Kemper, again, both struggling baseball-wise. A little bit. Kemper went through a 4-game losing streak, struggling defensively, but this is a team that's got a lot of offense. They've got a tremendous amount of speed, and probably the top player on that team, Cody Williams, and a very solid pitcher in Ken Kenobi, the young kid, freshman that you're going to have to watch out for the next few years is Chris Halber.
Well, you can tell, folks, he's got his play-by-play voice on the roll. Jeff Blankman, the sports director with KCIM AM 1380 and KKRL 93.7 FM in Carroll, as he's come to work and given a list of teams and names to watch for. And, Jeff, the interesting thing this year, I'm sure you've seen it a little bit, in softball, of course, the mound moved back a few feet, and it's changed the effect of the fastball, but it's also changed the effect of breaking balls, a little bit more time for those things to snap off. So pitching still holding pretty good form this season.
It really has, and I think that we talk about the adjustment that the pitchers have had to make with that extra distance. I think the hitters had a hard time early in the season as well, Tony, adapting to the extra little bit of time that they had. And now you're getting those really good pitchers who had that extra late movement that are getting some of that extra late movement because of the extra 3 feet. I think it's even continuing to cause the hitters even more trouble.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. The biggest factor, I think, so far this year is getting consistency, but kind of hard to do that when Mother Nature just keeps breaking things up as well, Jeff.
Yeah, it has. We've last 2 weeks we've hardly gotten any games in our area, and then sometimes we've gotten part of games in. Like last night, Kemper was hosting Creston in baseball, 2 varsity games. Got the first game in, had to delay and then postpone. In the bottom of the 3rd inning of the 2nd game, Carroll and Winterset in softball last night got the first game in. It was a great game, 1-0. Winterset wanted no hitter bid going into the 6th inning for Winterset before a freshman Brett Bauman able to break it up for the Carroll Tigers, and then Lindsey Schultz singled for him in the 7th of that game. Second game ended up getting delayed. They don't know if they'll finish it, but it was 0-0 in the 6th inning. So outstanding pitching performances softball-wise for both of those teams last night. But like you said, weather, we didn't know if we'd even get the Coon Rapids Bearden East Sac games in tonight. Luckily, the rain went around Sac City, so I was able to come up and watch tonight.
He is Jeff Blankman. He got away from Des Moines, and the beneficiary of it is the folks out in Carroll, because he does a great job covering Iowa high school sports in a positive manner, and we are proud to have them as part of our affiliation. Jeff Blankman, thanks for coming up here this Friday night on our show, and have a great weekend, brother, and we'll definitely talk to you throughout the season, especially during that football season.
I appreciate you guys giving me a chance to talk about all these wonderful teams and kids and coaches in our area. Appreciate that a lot.
All right. Jeff Blankman, the sports director with KCIM AM 1380 and FM 93.7, both in Carroll. Taking a break, come back with more Friday Night Live. We got everything back in order. Back with more. Benny Carroll, the producer, doing yeoman's work tonight. Back after this timeout.